Alright, we're back this morning. Got the truck and trailer hooked up. That can only mean one thing. We're going to buy another truck that we really don't need.
Yeah,
We're going to head down south into Alabama.
it's very cold out here right now.
Yeah, it's like 20 something degrees outside. Feels even colder than that if I'm shaking.
It's trying to beat a snowstorm.
Trying to beat a snowstorm too, so that's always
So
fun.
we're heading out just south of Huntsville, Alabama. You know, about almost 3 hours, a little bit less than that. It's first trip in the new rig here, so we'll see how that thing runs down. So I don't know, I'm ready to go get it though.
That's right. We're gonna hit the road.
Kind of a rare truck, seems like.
Yeah, y'all see the truck. So
Anyway, we're gonna get in the road and we'll check back in here and there and we'll get to it.
alright, we're probably like 2 miles away. Don't know exactly how we're gonna film all this. So if we buy it, we'll show it to you. If we don't, we'll probably still show it to you. I don't know.
We'll have to see.
We'll just have to see how it goes, but we're almost there, so yeah, we'll see you in a minute. All right, here we go. A 71 family owned. She is clean, perfect patina. We're getting her loaded up right now. She coming back home to Tennessee. We'll talk more about it later, but this is it. Just perfect patina on this thing. All original paint. Such a good looking truck. All right, so we're about an hour away from the house, and here's the truck, you know, and it's actually snowing right now, which we didn't really think we was gonna run into any snow, but there was a little line down below the main line, so it is snowing right now, which like I said, about an hour from the house. I think it's like 10 degrees colder up there. So yeah, but just good little walk around the truck. This thing just has such killer patina. I mean, the truck's cool and all, but we got a pretty good story with it. You know, we'll tell it later. Something else about this truck. Yellow with a green inside. I'm not going to show you the RPO code yet. I'll make you wait for that, but I'll just tell you, it is a factory yellow green inside truck. I don't think I've ever seen that. So that's really cool. Door shuts pretty good too. 70 model, like I said. Super straight. It's fairly solid too. There's only a couple little spots of rust, but we'll show you all that when we get back to the house. Just want to give you a little update here. All right, we just rolled back in, and we did not beat the snow. It's snowing pretty good. It's getting snow all over the new truck. Less than 1,000 miles. Never would have thought it was getting snowed on, but here she is in all of her glory. I'm telling you, the more I look at it, the more I like it.
You know, usually they're worse in pictures or worse in person than they are in pictures. This was one of the complete opposite.
Yeah, this was one exception. This thing is way better in person than what I thought it would be.
I didn't know this was
Yeah, this is really the worst place on the truck right here. But still, that ain't nothing. And it's freezing out here, so we're probably gonna, it's supposed to snow for like the next 2 days, so I really don't know when we're gonna wrap this video up. Probably after it quits snowing sometime, we can still walk around it. But yeah, we need to get this thing unhooked, get that truck back in. We need to get the truck back inside. This is paining me, getting snow all over it. Yeah, but here it is. All right, so as you can see, we still got the truck loaded up on the trailer here. It was snowing so bad by the time we got up here, the last time y'all seen. We just went ahead and unhooked the truck, put it inside, and we still haven't unloaded the truck yet. So
yeah, we just been too lazy to unload it, I guess. So anyway, we did mention earlier, this is a 1970 Chevrolet C10 truck. You know, it's not like those things are popular right now or anything.
yeah, I don't know if y'all ever seen one of these or not, but
yeah, but anyway, we picked this thing up just south of Huntsville, Alabama. A place called Lacey's Springs, or
Lacey's Spring.
Yeah,
kind of confusing.
So store we got on it is one owner truck. The man that originally owned this, he passed away. His family's got, or is the one selling it. So
yeah, we purchased it from them, from his family. So
we'll tell kind of the story we got on it toward the end of this. So from the time you found this truck, we actually bought it off Marketplace. As a shocker, because usually stuff like this never make it to Marketplace. Usually if it's getting sold on there, it's like second or third hand, but this is actual legit first hand one owner truck here that we bought. And from all of our looking on it, this is all original paint. Color of this thing is that ochre, or however you want to say it, OCHRE.
yeah,
Code on that's 511. This is actually the first year of that color, 70. They ran it to 74, so it was on this truck, or this 67 72 body style, for 3 years, 2 years on a square body. And so yeah, every panel on this thing never been painted. You can see part of the rust. Well, I wouldn't say rust, it's part of the primer's come through, most of the roof.
Bleeding through a little bit. Oh, you can tell, which is perfectly fine with us, you know.
Yeah, this is one of the better like patinaed trucks, especially 67 to 72 that we've seen.
Yeah.
So
I mean, just look at the inside of this bed.
because a lot of time on these year trucks, there'll be more rust than there will be paint on them. And for this truck still having as much paint on it as it does, it had to sit under a shed or something covered at least. So
yeah, it was covered for a lot of its life, no question. And there is no like major, or if any, surface rust other than the bed and the tailgate.
Yeah.
Now there is a little chip here and there, which is no big deal, but overall the paint on this thing, I would say
you could buff the paint, but what we've decided, we're probably just going to wash it.
If that,
because it's just so original of a truck. This is probably the most original truck that we've ever found.
yeah, and
especially as old of a truck.
Yeah, and it's very, very rare these days to find a 67, 72, or even early square bodies that haven't been touched. And this is one of them, other than the engine. We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But that is literally the only thing that's been done on this truck, or touched on this truck.
Yeah, got the white bumpers on it. Got the Goodyear sticker on here. With the guy that originally owned this truck worked at a Goodyear plant somewhere in Alabama, somewhere around Anniston, Alabama. That's what
Yeah,
they said.
we'll talk more about that later.
So right here, some more. We're just
Some more perfect patina. I mean, this truck is just, it may just to a lot of people look like a rough old truck, but to me, this truck's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, this is the one biggest dent in it. There's just a little few dings here and there in it, but this thing being like as dull as it is kind of hides them.
Yeah, and you know, this thing was a farm truck.
That's what they said.
They told us this was a farm truck, stayed on the man's farm for years.
The only thing I'm not too wild about on this truck is the mirrors, but at this point I don't want to change them because I don't want to weld the holes up and have to paint them back.
You can see where the factory little mirrors were, and like he said, you know, I'd love to put little mirrors on here, but we don't want to paint none of this yellow on the truck. You know, we want to leave as much of the original paint as possible, and it's got some good rust drips coming off of it. So
I mean, the whole thing is like a perfect patina truck. Probably one of the better ones I've seen of this year.
And I mean, the hood, there's just so much paint still on this thing. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. So this grill has got, it's got a little mark right here on it. It's
On
got
each side, I think, actually.
On the other side, but
Yeah.
this is a 6970 grill.
Fun fact on the 70s, this is also last year for 6 lug on the half tons.
Yeah.
So
Went to 5 lug after that.
in
so.
71 with the grill change.
Yeah. And the tag does say Talladega on it. I don't think it, they said it didn't come from there, so I don't know why that tag is on it.
Unless he was just a fan of Talladega, I don't know.
Yeah, I really don't know.
But again, we'll get to where it come from later. Under the hood here, this was an original 292 straight 6 3-speed on the tree, and then sometime, who knows when, something happened to the straight 6. They pulled it out and they put a 305 in it, and I'm not sure if they ever got it running with the 305 or not.
Yeah, I don't remember them saying if they did. I'm gonna say they didn't. I think they said they tried to, but
it may have spun over. But anyways, they were trying to get it running at some point. And I mean, this truck is bare bones.
yeah, it has nothing.
When I say bare bones, I mean manual brakes, manual steering. Basically all it had was heat.
Yeah, I mean, I think the option tag on the in the glove box, it's only got 4 things.
Yeah,
on
it's
it,
either
so
got 4 or 6 RPOs,
I think
which
it's 4.
is, again, bare bones. Which we'll talk more about what little RPOs there is later. But just so much room for activities under here, and it's got this beefy fan shroud for the old straight 6, you know. But again, the firewall on this thing, solid as can be.
May buff the firewall. Don't know. It depends what it looks like after we wipe it off. But
and I said no paint work on the yellow, but we are going to paint the radiator support and the inner fenders just to clean it up some. And don't get me wrong, I'd love to paint the firewall and under the hood, but then the truck's been painted on. You know, it can only be original once, and I don't.
Took it, you know, was it 54 years to get to this point?
Yeah.
It's only like this one time. I mean, you could paint this truck as many times as you wanted to, or physically able to, but it's only like this one time.
It's only original once, so that's why I don't want to do any paint work on it. But Yeah. If I can get this thing shut.
As far as like rotted through places, I don't know if you showed that one spot on the cab corner on the other side.
Yeah, there's on the passenger rocker over there. There's a little spot right here.
But these trucks are more known for mainly the rockers rusting on them, and then inside the windshield they rust up on the strip rail
above the sun visors around the windshield. If it'll focus. This thing is solid as can be up there. Now, really, this is probably the worst. This right here is the worst rust on the truck, which it may have got the pinch weld, but we don't know. We're gonna have to address that later.
Yeah, I would rather,
if it didn't get too deep, we're gonna leave it like it is.
Yeah, because I would just, that don't bother me because
that's not structural.
Yeah, it's just a rocker.
I mean, as long as you don't step on it when you're getting in it, you'll be all right. Which, you know what, it's the same in two-wheel drive. You shouldn't have to step on the rocker.
Shouldn't have to, but there's a lot more rotted out trucks running around than this one, so I'm not really too worried about it. And I think there's a spot in the floor about the size of a quarter from what I've seen on it. But
yeah, like he said, moving on to the inside and something else, these doors. This still shuts pretty good. And like we mentioned earlier, factory green inside. These door panels, this is wild. To be honest, I think this is the only yellow with a green inside like this I've ever seen on one of these trucks. Yeah. And it's like an emerald green. It's kind of weird.
Dark green. Not really. I mean, yeah, I guess you call it more of an emerald green.
Yeah.
Even with these, I don't want to paint them.
Yeah, I don't want to paint these door panels. And we didn't realize this till after we got home looking at this thing the other day. But this dash does not have a single crack.
The dash is perfect.
The dash in this thing is perfect.
Other than the vents, once they're plastic, they'll dry rot, break out of here. But we can find some vents for it. That's some kind of metal cover. I don't know if that's supposed to be.
Yeah, I don't either. But as you can see, somebody mounted the old stereo in here, and this is also a green seat, which you can't really tell it because, like he mentioned earlier, the original owner worked at a Goodyear tire factory, and they said he would come in every day from work just covered head to toe in tar. So that's why this seat is like stained.
Yeah, from the pictures, I thought the seat was black.
That's what I
thought it was like randomly had green inside and it had a black seat. But the more we looked at it in person there, you're like, let's see, factory green seat.
And these seat belts, I pulled these seat belts out. These things look brand new. I don't think the old man wore a seat belt in his life.
This is the same.
And yeah, and that one over there is the same exact way. Just perfect.
Where was that lap belt that you?
Oh, here's some of the lap belt right here.
There was one that still looked pretty good.
I mean, look at that. If it'll focus, they look brand new.
That one is a little more faded.
This one is a little worn. He had it thrown over the seat, but yeah, like he said, 4 RPOs in here. You got the model. Painted rear bumper, HD rear spring, which is kind of interesting, and then the green vinyl trim, which is the inside. And another thing, this is a factory no radio truck. I found the radio delete panel under the seat the other day. I flipped out because you don't hardly ever see these things because they wouldn't weld it in, they just snapped in. I guess a lot of the times they took them out and put a radio in and lost them.
Threw them
away or whatever. And
it's got a couple intakes in here that I guess they've tried to put on the front.
Yeah, tried to get it to run, which looked like they was doing a little carpentry work. Had the old hatchet. And it's also got a pew rack in the back with the old...
Did you see this?
No, what is that? Spit it out.
This is the transit card from when it was shipped to that dealership.
Oh no. Oh, okay, this is
Just found this.
This is a blind reaction. I had no clue this was in here. Okay, this is this is ridiculous.
This is laying on the floor. This is like a maintenance record. It's got Buster Miles.
Yeah, again, Buster Miles. That's where this truck was bought new, in Heflin. Wow.
Here's another tag receipt.
That was just laying here in the floor?
Yeah, right under the intake.
What the heck? I didn't even know that was in there. This is not planned at all. And another thing, I think this man would go get his insurance and just throw every insurance card he had under the seat. I found them all the way up until 2013. I've found from like 80 something to 13.
This is a 91 tag receipt.
Yeah. And I'm thinking 13 may have been the last time this truck was on the road.
13?
13. That's the last time he had insurance on it.
It should have had a, Alabama, what do you call them?
It's got an antique tag on it.
Antique tag on it, so.
But yeah, this is, man, we just keep finding stuff.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was in there. We'll take these speakers out. Somebody's run this wire in here, but you can take all that stuff out. Really don't matter, but.
Yeah.
As far as all we're gonna do inside it, really, I don't even think I'm gonna buff any of this. I'm gonna clean it up.
Here, show the gauges over there. This thing even has those idiot lights on it.
Yeah, if it'll focus it.
Oh, this rail's about to come off over here.
I would like to get another seat done. Put a green seat back in it.
Yeah, we're gonna pull this seat out and put it on the shelf.
Yeah, probably keep it. Probably put a complete column in here because I'd like a tilt column over this. Find a new steering wheel, paint all that green, and probably put another vinyl mat in it.
Yeah.
And then take the gas tank out of the back of it.
Yeah, definitely got to put the gas tank between the rails.
So other than that in here, that's really all we're gonna do. I mean, sun visors should clean up for the most part. Oh heck, this is something Nixon, something. I guess it's a presidential thing.
Oh heck. Huh.
Nixon Agnew. I don't know what year that is.
There's all kinds of stuff. Found this the other day, this little spike shed. That's definitely going up on the dash when we get the truck done.
That's good, yeah.
I got the old stick here in case you get sideways with anybody. Teach them a thing or two. But yeah. I mean, that's gonna live up there.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if you said this was 3 on the tree.
Yeah, 3 on the tree.
Not gonna be that anymore. So.
But yeah, I hope we're not just rambling. And seeing that transport guard just got me all excited.
I never knew it was in there.
I don't know that I've ever seen one of them, especially just laying in the floor. But like he didn't say earlier, this truck was bought new, Buster Miles Chevrolet in Heflin, which the people we bought it from told us Buster Miles is still a operational dealership. They're still open today, which is again really cool because I would love to get this truck back on the road and drive it back to the original dealership.
That would be pretty cool.
That would be pretty fun.
We get a key? Yeah, we got a key for it.
Yeah, we got a key for it. But and you can see the old choke pull down there.
It's missing the C and the E, so it's just hock right now.
It's just the old hock. Got your levers for your vents and everything. Yeah, I mean, this is just so cool. Just the history on these trucks, to me, is what makes the trucks. And
I'm sure we'll find more once we actually start working on it and we pull the seat out, because
there's a lot of stuff under the seat.
Yeah, that we hadn't even got to see yet. So
yeah. So I guess, that's really all about the truck. I guess we can tell the story of it. Again, these doors shut so good for the age of this truck.
Yeah, it smells like old gas.
Yeah, don't pull that cap off of there. You might get a little high off old gas fumes.
Yeah, she's rusted.
Yeah, here, look, just look at that gasket. That's less than ideal right there.
And when we put the tank in the back, I'll just leave that on there.
Oh yeah, you gotta leave it, because again, if this was any other truck, we'd shave this, make it look like it's never there. But like I said, don't want to do any paint work at all.
that's the plan.
Yeah.
Really the plan on this thing, we're gonna pull all these body panels off of it and take it to the frame, take everything off of it that we ain't gonna use. Don't have that exactly lined out yet, but probably powder coat the frame and
Do some suspension work.
yeah. It's gonna end up with an LS in it more than likely.
Yeah.
And so just do everything underneath it. I actually want to leave these wheels on it. I don't even know if I'm gonna paint them now. Just find some original hubcaps and
Yeah.
put back on there. But I want
Do a 4-wheel disc on it because I'm pretty sure this is drum all the way around, it being a 6-cylinder truck.
yeah. So our plan is to leave it, like looking at it, it will be as original as you can.
Yeah.
Like we
The-
just found it right here.
The
except-
only difference from looking at this truck when we get done, it's going to be a little bit lower looking at it from the outside.
Yeah. So
And again, these C10 badges, just the old plain Jane C10, still there. A lot of time these old emblems will get busted in half or something. Let's see, it was a Thursday, was it not?
yeah, it's Thursday.
Thursday evening, we was in the shop working, and I was gonna take a little break, pulled open Marketplace. First thing that popped up, old 70 model step side. You know, piqued my interest, went ahead and looked. Been on there 2 hours. I think, okay, maybe first in line. Look through the pictures, decide this truck is definitely worth the money. We need to go get this thing. About 3 hours away.
Yeah, right at 3 hours.
Not too bad. A little stretch for the new truck. No big deal. Message it. Doesn't respond. Then the truck gets marked pending. And I flip out. I was mad. I was just missed this perfect truck because I've been on the hunt for an early model step side for I don't know how long, but just something about I wanted an early model step side, and this truck checked every box. This was the truck, and it was marked pending, and my heart was broke. So I messaged the guy, "Hey, I see it's pending. If it falls through, let me know." He says, "Okay, will do." I'm thinking, well, probably don't have a shot, but oh well. So Friday rolls around. I'm still heartbroken. I'm just in tears all day. Saturday rolls around. We're back in the shop working. I don't think nothing of it. Come lunchtime, get on my phone. Got a Facebook message from the guy that owns the truck. Seen it like 2 hours ago. Never seen it. And I'm freaking out. Somebody got back in front of me in line. Tells me the first guy didn't want the truck. Claimed it was too rusty, which I understand. You know, not everybody knows what they're looking. I don't want to say they don't know what they're looking at, but rust scares a lot of people.
Which not everybody's in a body shop
Not
every day
everybody's in
either.
a body shop. You know, rust scares a lot of people. The guy, he restored cars. Is what the owner, what the guy we bought the truck from said. He restored cars, but he just didn't like the rust. No problem. I love rust. I'll be there. So that was Saturday. We leave bright and early. Sunday morning, that's actually where the video picks up. We get down there, looking at the truck, and as soon as we pull in the driveway, I know we're buying the truck.
Yeah, it was one of them things like,
you just know it's meant to be. After he messaged me back and said the first guy passed, I knew it was meant to be. So he gets to telling us about the story of this truck, and it was his father-in-law.
yeah, bought the truck
Bought the
new.
truck brand new. He owned a farm. I'm thinking Anniston.
That's what they said, Anniston, Alabama.
He lived in Anniston, Anniston, Alabama. Had a farm there, and he wore his last truck out. He worked at a cotton gin too when he was younger. They said worked there for years. Called up the Chevrolet dealership, Buster Miles, shout out Buster Miles, and told him, I need a truck. They said, we got a truck. He said, just deliver the truck to my house. So the man bought this truck without ever seeing it. They just delivered it to his house. He got home from work that day, and here was his new truck, a 70 model stepper. You know,
And that was the first time he'd ever seen it.
first time
Didn't
he'd
know
ever
what he
seen the
was
truck.
getting.
He didn't know the color, what it was, and this is what they brought him. So he went and paid for it the next day or something like that. Ridiculous. You never do that in today's world. Just give somebody a vehicle. But anyways, he rocked on, got a job at the Goodyear factory making tires. Worked there for like 30-something years, retired from there. You can see the bumper sticker on the back. These are probably brand new Goodyears when they put on the old MTs.
Probably so.
Now they're all dry rotted. So yeah, he drove this truck, like I said, have no clue when he stopped driving it.
I think he quit daily driving it probably around 2000.
Yeah.
And then he probably just drove it here and there up till about 2012, 13.
And then he gave it to his grandson, and they had plans to get the truck restored, and it never worked out for them. And they decided they were going to go ahead and sell the truck. That's when they put it on Marketplace, and thank goodness I seen it.
Yeah, so this is like one owner buying it from the original family, and
I mean, they still had the original bill of sale somewhere.
Yeah, they didn't know where it was at.
They couldn't find it. No big deal,
So like we said earlier, that usually never happens with this. Usually these are second or third handed by the time they hit, Facebook Marketplace. But
especially Facebook Marketplace.
Like you have a better chance of finding these out on your own,
these are the trucks you ride around and find.
Yeah.
I mean, these trucks usually never get advertised for sale. These are somebody's uncle's brother's cousin that has one. Anyways, the man that owned this truck bought it new. His name was Leroy. So it's only right that this truck is named Leroy.
Yeah, I think it fits it very well.
Everybody meet Leroy. Here it is. That's the name of the truck. I don't care what anybody says, we ain't changing it.
We ain't copying nobody or nothing. It named itself.
Yeah, we're not copying Cletus, with his C5 or anything. This truck, it just names itself. So this is old Leroy.
Yeah, I don't really think it couldn't have went to a better place, because we're gonna do this thing right.
That's right. And a lot of people, they would make this a completely different truck. They would paint it a completely different color, or put a fleet side bed on it. This is still going to be, when we get done, this is going to be Leroy's old truck.
Yeah, that's what it's going to look like.
This is what it's going to be. And yeah, I really don't know what else to say. That's pretty much the whole story on it. Yeah. And like I said, the trucks is part of it, but every truck has a story, and we're just here to tell it.
That's right.
And the story is what makes the vehicle, especially this truck for me. This truck wouldn't be half of what it is if we didn't have the story to go with it.
That's true.
Like I said, I couldn't go to a better home. Don't bump your head on that mirror.
So we got some pretty big plans for this truck. I wouldn't say big, but just...
we have a lot of plans.
Yeah. And I know we got plenty of stuff to do, but like when stuff like this comes up,
it kind of gets bumped a little bit ahead in line.
There was a few trucks ahead of this one, but it automatically kind of just bumped into the top.
That's right.
So, we've got a couple more things to do on a couple of these trucks out here, and then we get them done. I want to start this truck by August.
Yeah.
At least, something like that this year.
I would love to have this truck dialed in. I mean, dialed in this time next year at the latest, So we're hoping this truck has motivated us to finish our projects we have going on, just so we can work on this thing. Yeah. And I'll say I have not been this excited about a truck build in a long time.
I mean, these are just like, you just don't find these.
No, these are just...
These are trucks that don't exist anymore.
And when you think of a C10, you think of Grandpappy's old 67 to 72, Right. And this is exactly what this is.
And I believe it'll always be like this. The 67 to 72 will more than likely be the most desirable C10.
They're the king of the C10s, in my opinion.
We preference square bodies over these, us personally, but I'd take one of these any day.
I would much rather take a 67 to 72 in this condition than a square body. any day of the
Oh,
week.
yeah.
Just because there's so little of these trucks that were made compared to the square bodies.
That's true. Yeah, but when you hear C10, you think of a 67,
Yeah.
72. So, anyway, with all that, I mean, you're gonna be seeing this truck probably in the background for a couple months. We're not gonna start it until we get some other stuff finished.
Yeah, we have to get other things finished.
Yeah, because I can't tear another one down.
Yeah,
We
we're
can, but I'm not going to.
yeah, that would not be the smart thing to do.
Trying to contain ourselves here, but anyway, we're gonna use that to motivate us to finish this other stuff. So, I mean, this is a fun video to do. This is the stuff like I enjoy going.
Yes, I loved every minute of going and getting this truck.
Yeah,
A little road trip. You know, who don't love a little road trip?
that's right. Yeah, expect to see this thing
Hopefully soon.
hopefully pretty soon. As we get it done, it's gonna be, you know,
I want to drive this truck everywhere.
that's the plan. Drive it anywhere we want to. So,
And you're not too fond of the old steppers either.
me, typically I don't like step sides, but this is it's kind of doing something with it.
I know. I've been on my little step side kick, and you've been making fun of me wanting a step side, but
I don't mind them. It's not my first choice, but really this truck, a step side fits this truck better.
I don't think I'd like it anymore with a fleet side.
No. By the time this goes live, anybody wants that Escalade over there.
That's right. I'll make you a sweet deal
Hey, if you see
today.
it on this video and want it, $700.
Yeah. If you can prove you've seen this on the video, you need an Escalade, no motor, no transfer case. Still has a transmission. I'll make you a sweet deal, $700 today.
Well, not today, but
In the near future.
at some point. Nothing's wrong with it other than it don't run. It has no motor. But
It would be off, unless you want a Fred Flintstone that thing.
you could do that.
Yeah,
I wish we
but-
had to-
If you're looking for an Escalade front cap, that's your piece right there.
that's right.
But I'm not gonna part it out.
It's in Cadillac black.
In Cadillac Black. Selling as a whole. Don't ask me if it's still available.
We ain't selling parts.
We're not selling parts. If it's listed, it's available. I know what I've got.
You
Yeah.
just don't need it.
Don't
We had
need
to buy
it.
that in a package deal with something else.
Which
that
again,
nobody's seen, but
which this truck also bumped in front of it.
it
But
did. Yeah.
anyways, enough rambling.
I guess you'd say this is everything in a barn fine, except it was not in a barn.
Yeah, if this was in a barn, man.
Oh, if it's in a barn, yeah, it'd be no.
But
I don't know.
I'll go as far as say this is a holy grail C10.
I mean, really, in today's standard, it is, because you find another one. I
That's
know a lot of
right.
people say that, but you can't like just pull these out anywhere and find them. So
I wish every old barn had one, but that's just not the case.
we're gonna shut up on here and get off. Keep putting these videos out. We got plenty of stuff coming, just like this truck right here.
That's right.
Got to finish some other stuff up though.
That's right.
It's not the hard part. It's just
Fine time.
yeah, it's hard to find time. But anyway,
Yeah, be on the lookout for a 79 Bonanza video. We ain't had one on that truck in a long time,
yeah.
so that's what we're working towards next.
So anyway, if you made it this far in the video, we appreciate you watching. We're gonna keep building these trucks. We're gonna get off here and see you in the next one.